Wow. You cannot make this up. MSDNC, known as MSNBC, reporter decides to ask Trump Jr. some questions, along with Eric Trump right there. And you want to talk about, they pulled Morning Joe off the air because they didn't want any more rhetoric to get around, because they know themselves that they are a part of what had happened to Donald J. Trump on Saturday, July, 13th, 14th? It was on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this stuff up. These people are unhinged. They're crazy. What I'm about to play is disturbing, in my opinion, because these people don't stop with the rhetoric. But here is Trump Jr. absolutely wrecking and ending this guy. I think this guy's fired now for doing this. Smash the like button. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know where you guys are watching from. Let's get this video on the road.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way as possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster.
He's cooking already. But the craziest part about this is the framing of the question, which is, oh, even your father was divisive and all these different things. What? That's how you start the question. They start like, I'm lost for words. I really can't believe that just days after an assassination attempt on his father's life, a reporter from MSNBC would not learn their lesson. They would not learn their lesson. And they start already asking wild rhetoric questions, wild, disturbing questions. Crazy.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically, your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor. They went after him in every which way as possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Okay. Sure.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
Wow. Shout out to, by the way, look at the reporter's face. The reporter's face is the best part of this video. The reporter who basically had, like, do these people have a soul? That's the real question. That's the question that you have to ask yourself is, do these people even have a soul? Right? Because it takes Trump Jr. to basically correct this stupid. Look, man, I got to call it what it is. I don't want to know his name. I don't want to know his name, but it's crazy. But shout out to Trump Jr. for holding it down, keeping his composure and explaining why this is the wild rhetoric, and they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait. I made the case of why that kid did what he did and why he tried why did he try what he tried on that roof just a few days ago. Why? Is it because of stuff like this? It's crazy. It's just, you cannot make this stuff up. The rhetoric continues. Here is which is crazy because aside from MSDNC, we have NBC, an interview a sit-down interview that Joe Biden did today, aired today at least. And here is NBC reporters doubling down and putting pressure on the statements by Democrats and Joe Biden. Take a listen.
You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. there's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that
I didn't say
words matter.
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there's very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
Wow. I'm very surprised here by this interviewer who's been around for a very long time. But yes, start questioning the rhetoric. It's very simple, because when you think about what they've said and you think about what they've done, man, I mean, look, here they said they're going to pull their ads, but let's be honest. This is Joe Biden today. He says, here's the deal about JD Vance, who Trump just picked as his VP. He talks a big game about the working class people, but now he and Trump want to raise taxes on middle class families while pushing more tax cuts for the rich. Well, I don't intend to do that. Look, it's already started, right? They're saying that we must stop them because they're threats to democracy. We must stop these people because they are threats to democracy. I have another one here, right, of rhetoric that basically is one of the reasons what pushes people to do dumb things. Here's Plies, a rapper who is completely irrelevant, but he did post something. He says, "Dear black folks, the stakes keep getting higher with this election. The JD Vance running mate hire by Trump is equivalent to choosing," I think he meant to write choosing, "a young Hitler as VP, in my opinion. He's an extreme. He's as extreme as it gets. Don't believe me? Do your own research. He is Project 2025." That's the rhetoric that got us where we're at today. That's the rhetoric that I believe separates this country, and it's one of the main reasons why people would be tempted to do something like what that kid did. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate, but that's just the way things are going. It's so sad, man. It is extremely, extremely sad. Here we go. You guys can't hear this. Yeah, I knew there was no sound. Sorry about that. Here we go.
My first words, the first words out of my mouth were, "You're the biggest badass I've ever seen," and I actually mean that, right? I sort of just said it. Everyone these days is a tough guy on the internet or on a keyboard, but when you've actually been shot and you can get up defiant, fist in the air, telling people to stay in the game, to fight. That's exactly the kind of leadership we need. That's actually a man that's been tested. Everyone thinks they're going to be the tough guy. Most aren't. He is, and I could not have been more impressed with him in that moment. And I've been impressed with him for a long time.
This was an incredibly close call, and the former First Lady Melania Trump, put it so eloquently in her letter that it was so close. Her whole life could have changed. Your life could have changed. What did you feel in that moment when you found out what had happened, when just the first pieces of information were coming in?
Yeah, no, it was very tough because it took me about 90 minutes to actually get anything, right? They'd lock everything down. He's in the hospital. There's no cell phones, I assume, because of potential IED type stuff when they don't know what's going on. So I got a call, my father's been shot, and that's the only information you have. And it took about 90 minutes to even find out that he's alive and well. So that was a rough time. And then I spoke to him and I said what I said. And we sort of even in that moment, he was still having some levity, and he just back in the game. And it was incredible. It was actually a couple hours later when you sit down, you start reading it, you start seeing the videos, and that's when it was like just the adrenaline dump hits, and it was different. It was a life-changing experience.
There's a lot of scrutiny about the Secret Service. There's going to be oversight hearings on Capitol Hill. What do you think happened? Do you think something went wrong? Was he vulnerable?
Listen, I know a lot of those guys, and some of them are incredible patriots. I had a Secret Service detail for 4 years, but I also know, having had it, having been in it, having been both my father as a president, as a candidate, my own details, someone to get out on an open roof within 130 yards. I'm not going to be the guy to be conspiratorial, but something went wrong.
So should he stop doing those outdoor rallies, perhaps? Is that what you would recommend to him?
I don't think he'd want to stop doing them. You know, I think you see the response.
Maybe, do you want to tell him?
Stop? But I think, you know, we got to guard that perimeter a little bit better. I came from a competitive shooting background. I mean, a 130-yard shot, it's like a 2-foot putt. That's nothing. It doesn't get easier than that. So that was truly divine intervention as far as I'm concerned.
Do you think it's hit him yet? Do you think it's sort of finally settled in for him?
Oh, 100%. I think it settled in and he's moving on. The resolve, the defiance that you saw in the seconds after that, he's just going to carry that energy on and fight for our country that way.
He's moving on now with this VP pick, JD Vance, who obviously was a favorite of yours. Talk to me about why, and what you told your father.
I just said, listen, he's a guy. Honestly, what it is I watched JD go into sort of, let's call it, enemy territory from a media perspective, go on the most liberal TV shows and prosecute the case for my father and against the Democrat lunacy that we've seen. He does that better than almost any of our people can do on more conservative television. And you see that, you see the intelligence, and you hear his life story. That's going to resonate. You know, we have a very tough electoral college map. You know, people are like, oh, it's over now. Nothing's over. It's not over. It's not over till the last ballots close on November 5th. And if the Democrats get their way, they'll drag it on till 2:30, 4 in the morning otherwise. So we have to stay in the game. He's a guy that can go to the Rust Belt, to the places like Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania and articulate that case. He's lived an incredible American dream story. And when more people figure that out, I think they'll see that I was probably really, really correct and sort of my choice.
Do you feel like he can lead? There's been some criticism that he doesn't have enough political experience. He's a freshman senator from Ohio.
Yeah. Let me know what you guys think overall about Trump Jr.'s comments here, about how he handled the reporter. Let me know what you guys think about what's going on in the RNC. I know they have 4 nights. Trump will be speaking in night number 4, which is Thursday. We're going to be keeping track of everything on this channel and the main channel as well. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Share this channel. Like this video. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think you guys can do memberships now on the channel. If you guys want, you guys can become a member of this channel. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this video afterward, please comment down below. It really does help the algorithm. I'll see you guys on the next one.